3 times. 4 times. Doing gang things. Living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lock with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road, take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach screaming bump these hoes. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had the slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that, man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. That it came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause you know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you're lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of in the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Be help me, shout let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord. Saints, it's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Shalom, shalom to you all. Yamaya, I've been waiting on you. Listen, I'm so sorry, y'all. Last week, we had a lot of stuff going on here at the House of Mono, and I had to kind of focus my attention on some business things, so that's why I wasn't here last week. I'm so sorry, but thank you all for joining me today. All praises to the Most High. So happy to be here. Just want to take a moment and thank the Most High for life, health, strength, being on this side. So all praises to him, our provider, our sustainer. So y'all, they found the submarine. Okay, I don't know how y'all feel about that. So I don't if you've been under a rock and don't know what's going on, earlier this week, and it wasn't even a whole submarine, it was a subversive, which is kind of like I guess the mini car of submarines. There were 5 people on it. 2 people were staff of the touring company, and there was a Pakistani businessman, some kind of social media magnate or something like that. And the businessman had his 19-year-old son with him. So apparently what they found out today was that the whatever you want to call it, the subversive, it exploded. Yeah, they just found it when I was getting ready for this and I logged on to Google. I saw they just found it, but they found pieces of it, so they know that it imploded. And unfortunately, the passengers didn't survive. And let me just say this: like, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, they wasted all that money; they deserve to die." No one deserves to die like that. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Granted, would I if I had $250 billion, okay? If I had the kind of money where $250,000 was nothing but like a dollar to me, I still would not do anything like this. I will never understand the need for certain people, particularly those who have a history of colonization. I'll never understand the need for these people to always be in places where they don't belong. It's just it baffles me. Even in this day and time, I ain't getting no something I'm not getting in anything. And then here's the thing: they went in the little shoddy underwater boat, because that's what I'm gonna call it, because it wasn't even a whole submarine. They went in a little shoddy underwater boat to visit a site of a shipwreck where people had already died tragically. I don't know. I don't understand, but it's over now. And I don't know if you guys heard, but supposedly they were trying to distract us from the FDA approving lab grown chicken to be served. There are 2 producers in California who will be producing producing, because you're not making babies, producing the lab grown chicken, but it's only supposed to be used in restaurants at first. I'm telling y'all right now, listen, if I just had a little more discipline, I would be done with meat altogether. I'm telling, it's getting to that point. And I'm gonna tell you what, like, I'm not even bugging out about the lab created meat stuff, because if you think about it, they've been putting all kind of stuff in our food. We've literally been eating Franken meat for as long as I'm gonna say I'm 40, so probably as long as we can remember. We've been eating synthesized to some degree. They've been experimenting on this food for a long time. And they've been telling us about lab grown meat, clone meat. I remember when they cloned the first sheep and this conversation started. So I don't really understand why everybody's bugging out. They've been doing this. But anyway, if you have not heard already, please prepare yourselves for July 30th, the F3 Fringed Up Family Fest. It will be going down right here in the ATL at Bean Acres. If you have not heard about it, please head over to F3 Fringed Up Family Fest on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It is presented by the Light Hebrew Magazine. Shout out to Sister Delta. You can visit them at Team Light. Wait, hold on. I want to tell you the Instagram right. TLHG. No, Turn Up the Lights. It's Turn Up the Lights on Instagram and TikTok. I'm so sorry, Sister Delta. Please don't come for me. TLH Magazine. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Turn Up the Lights. Look them up on there as well. If you want to buy tickets or want more information, please head over to the website www.3 like the number 3 mgmusic.com. Also, shout out to my wonderful, sexy, oh so handsome hubby. If you are not following him, please head over to @monologue_McGad on your socials. And also give us a like, share, and subscribe if you are on the YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching us at. Shout out to my audience on the Saya TV. Hey, y'all. Hey. If you want to join the conversation, you can head over to YouTube at Miss Mono's World, @MonologueMcGad. If you're on Facebook, those channels as well, and that will allow you to participate in the chat. But don't turn off the Nasaya TV. Watch me on the TV. Talk to us on the phone, okay? All right. So I didn't talk about this earlier because I didn't want anyone to say that, oh, you're trying to excuse the assault of women. No, I'm not, okay? But what I'm not going to do is stand by and let the molestation of a child go. All right. Let me back up. A week or two ago, everybody's talking about how I believe it was YK Osiris. I feel old as heck because I don't know these people's names and they sound weird to me. Okay, I'm sorry. So I believe the young man, I believe his name is YK Osiris or something like that. He supposedly kissed Sukiana and she had not given her consent. So listen, if I don't consent for you to kiss me, don't kiss me. Period. And people were saying like, oh, well, the situation that I don't care. Like, there's no excuse for kissing anyone who does not want to be kissed, touched, like, don't even be in my personal space. You know what I'm saying? I'm that kind of person. So no, I'm not trying to excuse what she did. Okay. I'm not trying to excuse what he did. But let's take a look at this. And I want to talk about a few things when we look at this. Okay. The main thing I want to talk about is why no one is holding this woman accountable for this. I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm not gonna play the sound. Okay. I'm not gonna play the sound, but just look at the video. She talking about doing something to somebody for some perks in a bag. I listened to it. That's all she's saying. And watch right here comes a little kid. Did y'all see that? Oh, let's watch it again. Fast forward it. I told y'all I'm gonna try not to play the sound. See? I'm not gonna play it. But watch. And there's a child. That's a child. That's somebody's child. That is a 10-year-old boy, according to how the internet is reporting it. Okay. That's a 10-year-old boy. Do you think that this child was able to give his consent for this grown behind woman to put her bare naked behind on him? And here's the problem, right? See, and I'm not gonna lie, that the Suki though, that was my first initial reaction. Because how are you out here promoting sexuality and boasting about how you're so free with your sexuality, and then you're even in a situation where that's like the atmosphere? And again, I am not saying that any kind of forceful behavior is okay. I am not okaying any type of assault. But ladies, when are we going to start holding each other accountable and taking some responsibility for our behavior? There's a saying, your reputation precedes you. This woman, by her own doing, it's not like a sex tape was leaked, and it's not like, someone just blasted her for an innocent act when she was a teenager. No, this grown behind, fully able to consent, adult woman chooses to broadcast herself as a sexually open, immoral individual. I mean, No, see, here's the thing. We don't want to face reality. If you're advertising sex, what are people going to come to you for? Popeyes advertise chicken sandwiches. They are not surprised when people roll up and ask for a chicken sandwich. Okay, but then who's speaking up for this 10-year-old? Where is the outcry about Sukiana being a pedophile? Where is the outcry for this 10-year-old child? Stop acting like boys don't have feelings, or that here's the problem in the Black community. And of course, reading, like looking into this, I read a lot about this. The molestation of our young Black boys is looked at as like a rite of passage, like something that they have to do. Like, oh, that's just a little boy. He's happy, to get it. He doesn't understand what's going on. He's freaking 10. He's 10. There is a reason that it's called statutory rape, because at that age, they're not able to make these kind of decisions. So where was the outcry when she did this? And listen, y'all, I thought I was going to have to go on like a deep Google search. I thought this was like some hidden video from years ago at some kind of like back alley ghetto party, because surely this is not just here for the public to view. But it is. Right. Literally, all you have to do is Google it, and it'll pop up multiple times. There's no shortage of it. So where was all the smoke for her? Because a sexual assault is sexual assault. I don't care how old I am or I am not. And it's even worse. And this is the problem. We as Black women will not hold each other accountable. Nobody's blasting her. Nobody's canceling her. Nobody's doing anything. But the minute she cried, oh, somebody did something to me that I didn't want them to do to me, now all of a sudden we got to put on our capes and come in. No, girl, bump you. Just like you ain't had no concern for that child. And even more because, again, you propagate yourself as a sexually open, immoral woman. This child is innocent. He isn't even of age to approach you about anything like that. He isn't of age to consent to being in that kind of situation or even in those surroundings. Why the hell was the child at this video shoot in the first place? But where is the child's mother? Where is the child's mother? Because see, it's all fun and games when we getting grown women to twerk on 10-year-olds. But as soon as a person, as soon as a person of the Caucasian persuasion proceeds to mistreat that same 10-year-old, y'all gonna want to talk about, the world doesn't see Black kids as kids. The world is always trying to over sexualize and over mature our kids. But what are we doing to our kids? What are we doing? Boosie's talking about, I'm gonna give my son a blowjob for his 14th birthday. But if a person of another persuasion was to come up and say something crazy to your kid, then you're gonna be all on social media wanting us to talk about, he's just a kid. Was he just a kid when you were setting him up to be molested? I know. I'm not supposed to say that. It's not molestation. It's just, no, it is. It is. And I'm tired of y'all doing this, acting like young Black boys don't have feelings, don't have emotions, don't have all the things that Black girls have, right? Because when something happens to a Black girl, oh my gosh, how could you? She's so tender. Why y'all don't have the same love for our sons? And when they wake up, when they grow up and abuse your daughters, you want to know why. Why are they so cold? Why are they so callous? Because you've been treating them like a degenerate before he even had a chance to make his own decisions. That's why. That's why. You've given them no other choice. And I'm telling you, Again, strengthening my choices to homeschool my children because damn, I can't even trust other Black women around my child now. And I'm not even going to say now because my husband has told me stories. All right, y'all been on that. Listen, no. Don't come to me and expect me to advocate for your rights if you can't even respect the rights of Black children. Don't ask me to advocate for nothing. I'm not doing no hashtag. I'm not about to. No, I'm not canceling nobody. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go find some of Buddy's songs to play. Because no, we as Black women, we have got to do better. Y'all are freaking embarrassing. It is embarrassing to be a Black woman with all the crap that goes on and nobody's saying anything about it. Again, everybody had the smoke for old boy, but at the end of the day, them was two adults. That was two adults. Suki ain't no innocent virginal. Nobody is thinking that she. No, we're not giving. Did you see this woman just twerking the concrete? And then not to mention she was holding a baby. Whose baby? Where is these mothers that's letting these babies be around all this stuff? And then you go, man, the next scene would have been my fist coming across her face, beating her down. But nobody said anything. There was no uproar. There was no cancellation. Y'all still cheering this heifer on. And she's a full on, if a man was to walk up to you and touch your butt, if some man walked up to your 10-year-old daughter and touched her butt, but it's okay for this grown woman to twerk on a 10-year-old boy? Y'all start this feminism crap at a young age. A Black girl's life is no more precious than a Black boy's life. Y'all have got to stop acting like Black men don't matter until they grow up and decide that they done with Black women because of all the crap they've been dealing with all their lives. And all of a sudden you want to talk about them and talk about, oh, you can't handle Black women. Look what the hell you've been doing to them all their life. You wonder why they're over-sexualized, no self-control, and having babies all over the place. Listen, there is something that goes on in a child when you violate them. It does not allow them to, it doesn't allow them to start with a healthy understanding and foundation of sexual behavior, how things are supposed to work, how things are supposed to feel. You understand what I'm saying? And as someone who's been through that, like it's not funny. It's not fun and games. Why do Black women think that we're the only ones that can be traumatized? Why do we think that we're the only ones that can have emotional baggage? And oh my gosh, what everybody did to me. What about what you did to everybody else? You can't, no, you can't always want to be the victim, but not talk about your own victimizing. Y'all be so quick to point out everybody else is wrong. So like, oh, you're appropriating our culture and you're a colonizer, but you don't want to call out your sisters over their pedophilia because somebody's doing it. So, somebody is doing it. Okay, these are just the instances that we know about. So, but where's the outcry for Black children? Where's the outcry for our sons and daughters? I'm not joining. Listen, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Okay. And if you can recognize that, hey, I didn't give consent for this to happen to me. And if you felt strongly enough to cry out about it, why do you then feel that it's okay to take away that same autonomy, to take away that same personhood from a child? Because at that point, Angelina Shalom says, because at the point when you are assaulted, you are helpless. Okay, like a child, you're helpless. You cannot defend yourself. This person who is stronger than you, bigger than you, has more power than you, has put you in a position where they can take advantage of you and there's nothing you can do about it. Does that sound more like that 10-year-old? We have got to start holding each other accountable, sisters and cousins. Like, we can't keep pointing a finger at black men. We can't keep pointing a finger at the government. We can't keep pointing a finger at systematic racism. We want to point the finger at everything else. And I'm not saying that those things aren't very real and very true, but we're also ignoring the very real and very true element of us needing to be accountable for our own behavior, holding ourselves to a higher standard, loving our children and our husbands like we're supposed to. And this, see what I'm, but this is who the world is holding up as a role model to our daughters. And I mean the parade of black women, the parade of black women coming to this girl's defense. And you know who brought up, who kept bringing up the 10-year-old? I kept seeing black men bringing up the 10-year-old. It was black men. And whether you say, oh, they just did it out of anger. Oh, guess what? If she wouldn't have did it, they wouldn't have had nothing to say. So it's not a lie. Nobody's making it up because they hate her. No, she very much did it, very much recorded it for everyone to see. So nobody's trying to shame her. This is not, no, you did it. And just like you say you didn't consent, did that 10-year-old consent? Did that baby? You don't take a baby into a strip club. You don't take a baby to a strip club. Why are you holding a baby in the video? Why is the baby even there? See, I could go on and on, but y'all get what I'm saying, okay? We have to start holding each other more accountable. I'm like this, letting stuff slide and man, no, no, no. If we don't get ourselves together, nothing else is gonna work. I don't know why we keep like wanting to comb over that fact. It's like we want to fix everything but the foundation of the house, and we all know that that's not gonna work. We all know that that house is gonna crumble. Look, we can't even get ourselves off the ground, so whatever. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. If you are at Miss Mono's World, thank you so much. If you're not at Miss Mono's World, please go like and subscribe. Trying to get my new YouTube channel off the ground here. If you are feeling led to donate to the festivities here at the House of Mono, all the lights, all the cameras, all the action, please head over to the Cash App, $ the House of Mono. Brianne says shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. Hey, so on to our main topic. Are you ready to be a helpmeet? And I'm gonna tell y'all what brought this on. In my experience with when people come to help you, they want to help with what they want to help with, right? Like I could be on the phone, I could call 3 people right now And I'll be like, oh my gosh. And these could be 3 people that have in the past. Be like, well, if you need any help, let me know. Or if you know, whatever. I could call 3 people right now and be like, oh my gosh, I'm really like overwhelmed with the house and the kids and everything is really da da da. And they will sit there and they will listen and they will talk to me and they will sympathize until they tired and ready to get off the phone. But let my husband call and say, "Oh, I really need help with these shirts over here, and we got all this going on, all that going on, da 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 da." And them same 3 people, "Oh, I can help. Y'all need help? I can help. I can. Oh, I want to help." But hold on. When I said I needed help, I brought that up to point out that oftentimes people feel like they're helping you just by being there. Like, okay, I'm doing something, so this is helping you. But as I have learned, throughout my years of being an assistant to a surgeon, and pretty much a personal assistant. Heck, I'm a wife, okay? So pretty much a personal assistant to my husband. Helping is often doing the things that the person you're helping doesn't want to do or does not have the time to do. These things are often going to be a little bit more tedious and meticulous. Okay. Um, But the fact of you being a help means, okay, I'm gonna take on this task. And once you get married, especially if you've been single as an adult, if you've had a career or even a job for a long time and you've developed your own way of living as an adult, when you come to get married, that transition from being the leader to the helpmeet, it can be a hard one. It can be a hard one. Um, I'm sorry. This is my first time drinking this moringa tea, and it is really fruity. It's really good. It's giving now laters. Okay. Um, the transition can be a hard one to go from leader to help me, right? When you're used to making all the decisions and you're used to making all the calls, to now have someone involved, right? Even as a leader, okay? Just not just involved. This isn't your teammate here. This is your husband. This is your leader. So to have someone now come in as a leader, it's shocking. It can be a culture shock, especially if you never seen it before, right? So you know what I speak from my personal experiences, because I know what's going on behind the scenes in my head. Um, So I can tell you that, like, when we first got married, now I'm coming from being a single mom here, okay? I was a single mom for almost 15 years. So coming from that to being married and not just to any man, okay? Let me just say this, like, my husband is very manly. He's very much a man. And I wanted that in my marriage. That is something that I wanted. Like, that is something that attracted me to him. Like, ugh. But then when I got married and this man in all his masculinity, right, is doing what he's supposed to do, and now leading me, it's hard because it's like, dang, the thing that turned me on about you is now getting on my nerves. But it's necessary, right? If you say you're coming to be a help, you're coming to fill in the gaps, right? My husband has great business mind. Administrative mind, not so much. When it comes to the paperwork and the tediousness and the phone calls, that's not his strong suit. And to be honest with you, um, I don't really enjoy it either. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like it's fun and I enjoy it, but I understand that this is my contribution to our effort, right? A lot of times we look at our contributions as less than, not realizing that it takes all parts to make the whole, right? You may say, my cooking, my cleaning, my taking care of the kids is not a big deal. And it's easy to feel this way because we don't get an income. You know what I mean? Like we don't get a paycheck for what we do. Um, there's no big social media campaign for our housewives. Nobody really pays attention to the needs of the housewife because it only affects our family. We're not out in the workplace. So it can feel lonely and it can feel unappreciated. But I went through something this week. Okay. I got tendonitis in my right foot. And that thing spread all the way up to my leg, like to my hip. And it just reminded me, it started in my toe now, it just started in my little big toe. But it just reminded me that you even the smallest parts have to be working together for the entire body to operate. If you've ever had tendonitis or any problem with your foot to the point where you couldn't walk normally, think about that. Like, think about how much harder it made everything just to not be able to walk normally. We take it for granted. One foot in front of the other, walking up the steps, one foot in front of the other, might even run up the steps if we feeling lucky. You know what I'm saying? So, you got that in your knee, and yeah, girl, it shoots all the way up my leg, and I too thought I was dying. Listen, I totally get it. It is no joke at all. Got it from working out. Listen, I got it from standing around. I wasn't working out, I wasn't doing anything. I was standing, walking. I think I was going upstairs or something. I don't know if I rolled my toe wrong or what, but okay, but anyway, back to the topic. See, now we talking about the tendonitis. Back to the topic. But just that small, what you consider a small part of your body not working the way it's supposed to, it affects everything else and it makes everything else so much harder, right? Me having to work not away from the house because I'm still at home, but me having to like focus on our businesses more than usual has left a gap in the housework. I just now started getting my house back to normal. I wasn't up there to do laundry. I wasn't up there cooking. I wasn't up there cleaning. And you could tell a difference. I go upstairs and it's just a mess. It's hard to come up there and relax. It's hard to like it was just hard to live in that. And that, you know what I mean, on a day-to-day basis, sure, that seems small and minute. Like, oh, I'm just washing clothes. Nobody notices the laundry until there's no clean clothes. You know what I'm saying? Nobody notices the kitchen being clean until it's not clean. Okay, so I totally get it and I totally understand. But what we have to remember is love is not loud. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. And I know, oh, what does that have to do? It has to do everything with it, ma'am, sis cousin, because nobody wants to talk about the service that's involved in being a wife. Um, and I know, nobody wants to hear this, but help me is just a fancy word for servant. Because you are serving. I know nobody likes to be called a servant, right? Don't call me that. I'm not a servant. I'm a king or a queen. Aren't we all supposed to be servants of the Most High? Okay. And women, you are called to love your husbands, keep your home. Who do you think you're keeping a home for? It's not for you. Not just for you. When you have this man's children, you're serving him in the capacity of raising his bloodline to continue. Nobody wants to talk about that part. And we're not talking about the men here, but before you go there, yes, being a husband is a service. I tell you multiple ways that my husband serves me. A good husband, yes, I'm not talking about a one-sided service. No, service is reciprocal. Okay, so don't feel like, "Oh, I'm just signing up to be this man's maid." No, you're not. But if you get down to it, you spend your life serving others. You serve on your job. Even though they give you a paycheck, that's still you're offering yourself to serve this purpose, right? And I don't know where we struggle in that. I think that that role of help me is overlooked so often when it comes to marriage, because think about it, when you hear these dating gurus or relationship gurus or whatever, um proclaim their standards for dating, they always go, "I'm already a wife and you got to treat me like a wife and I'm already a wife." Oh, are you? Oh, are you? Are you washing that man's dirty drawers? Are you making that man's meals? Are you that man's support system? Does he bother you with his issues or his problems? Because see, being a wife is more than just fancy dinners and having my bills paid. I have to reciprocate that. I have to earn that. And no one, listen, my husband loves me. Yes. He chose me. Yes. But don't think that it's just because I'm just so magical and I just walk around here doing whatever I want to do and he just can't help himself but to just, no, baby, I'm not that wonderful. Some days I get on my nerves. Some days I burn the food. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I've bleached a couple of things that had no business being. Like I've done things, okay? But he still chooses to love me. Um, and that's another thing, the temperamental, you cannot be a temperamental help me. If me and my husband happen to be disagreeing about something at a certain time, I don't stop doing what I'm doing. I don't stop doing his laundry. I don't not cook his food. You know what I'm saying? I may not be all over him when he come upstairs, but I'm not stopping the running of my household, just like he's not stopping the paying of the bills. See, you get as good as you give. And if every time you have an issue, now all of a sudden, and I've been here, okay, I have been here. Every time you have an issue, now all of a sudden you want to shut everything down, tear everything up, burn it all down because you mad. That is immature and that is destructive. And people can see that trait in you when you're dating. They see your lack of patience. They see you being quick to get frustrated. This is nobody that they want to choose to build a life with. This is stuff that you need to deal with before you even get married. Check your patience. Like, how are you with people around you? Are you patient with your children? Are you patient on your job? Michael Hodges Ministries, Shalom and Shalom. Thank you for joining me on the IG. You can head over to the YouTube at Miss Mono's World. If you're on the YouTube already, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. It's supposed to be summer here, but then it's like cold and rainy. Ugh. Anyway, this is and again, hear me. Anything, I'm not saying that I was perfect when I got married. And I'm not saying that my husband didn't go through some trials and tribulations. Baby, he did, okay? But what I'm saying is, are you at least even at the point where you're willing to learn, willing to be corrected, willing to listen? If a man can't direct you, you certainly can't help him. And this is the problem. We want to be all independent, but then you want to be part of a team. That's not going to be fruitful and it's not going to work at all. See, I don't understand how or why you would want to join yourself to a man and then not consider yourself personally responsible for the success of you guys as a family. Like, sure, my husband didn't need me to have any drive or vision when it came to money making. He had that in the bag. But when it comes to the children, I look, I want them homeschooled. You know, there are certain things that I have taken a responsibility for. That guess what? If I am not taking this responsibility, then my husband can't focus on income. He can't focus on income if he got to worry about the kids being educated. He can't focus on income if he got to worry about are my children eating. How can he focus on income if he got to worry about feeding himself? I heard a long time ago, and this was years ago when Kim and Kanye were still together. I heard a long time ago that Kim Kardashian gets up in the morning and puts the toothpaste on her man's toothbrush. Okay. And at first you may be like, what? That's kind of ridiculous. But and let me tell you, I tried to do it, but I think I pregnant or working or something. I tried to do it and I stopped doing it. But I do everything else. Okay. So, but hear me. Yes, it's a gesture. Um, it's a gesture. Oh, I care. I love you. Um, but to me, it's like I to me, it's a sign of I recognize that your time is valuable and I recognize that you're busy. Now, mind you, King Connect, Shalom and Shalom. Yeah, mind you, this man's already a billionaire. Okay. So it's not like, oh, I have to support him while he's out making a living. No. But um people who have reached a certain income level, they hire assistants because they realize that their time is too valuable to be spent on certain things. Um, they don't. They're okay. Like Candy Burrs, I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she was going somewhere on Sunday, and they called her phone. They were like, "Hey, your car is on the way to pick you up," and I'm like, "Damn! Imagine my time being that valuable that it doesn't make sense for me to drive myself because it's more important for me to be planning things on the phone, holding meetings. You know what I'm saying? If but if you're not willing to help, then how are you wanting your husband to reach this level of success? Or any success for that matter. Because let's keep it funky. Everybody's not meant to be a billionaire. Everybody's not going to be a millionaire. Everybody is not entrepreneurial, right? Some people are just cool with a C level, E level job, or even, what their regular job, whatever. Some people are just cool where they're at, right? Um, or they might not mind being bumped up another level or two, but are you as a helpmeet willing to do that? Are you as a helpmeet willing to fill in all those gaps, do all the things that may be considered tedious that maybe, he doesn't want to do? Are you willing to go in and clean up after the big project is done? A lot of y'all don't want to do that. Um and unfortunately feel like, oh well, my hand should be in on the big project too. And let me tell you a trap that you can fall into because I fell into it as well. Like sometimes my husband would be like, I don't really want to do this. Can you do this? I don't want to do this. Can you do this? And for a minute it was like, I'm not stupid. Like I'm very well capable of doing more things, right? But then I had to sit back and realize like it's not a knock on my intelligence. It's not a knock on my ability. This is where I'm stronger. So it would make more sense for me to be here. And unfortunately, we won't put our egos aside enough so that we can give 100% to the thing that we might not want to do, right? We would rather give 25, 50% to the thing that we think we want to do, to the thing that we think is going to bring us more satisfaction, make us happier, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But again, every part is more valuable than the next part. You don't believe me? Don't change your oil in your car and see what happens. Don't put gas in it and see what happens. Matter of fact, open the hood, cut a line. It's just a small little line. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah, pride is of the devil. It don't matter. It's just a small little line. It's just a open the electric box and take off one of the switches. You know what I'm saying? Like these things may seem little, they may seem minute, they may seem tedious, but they are very necessary. Working as a surgical technician, there's a lot of mundane going over things, repeating things, saying things over and over again, writing things down over and over again. But you know what? It's all very necessary to ensure the safety of that patient, the success of the surgery, and that the practice can continue without a malpractice suit. You know what I'm saying? And you again, these are the things that nobody appreciates until something happens. We had an associate surgeon in the practice lose a patient, and they were not satisfied with the record keeping. So that made my doctor be like, "Oh no, we're going to jump on this." To the point where a lot of people thought it was overkill. It's like, "Oh my gosh, do we have to do this?" But no, it's necessary. You might be feeling like, "Oh, it's this I don't have to teach the kids the Bible. I'm not really worried about that right now. They can learn that later." And I'm telling you right now, it is very necessary for them to learn it now. It's not the help that you are supposed to be bringing to your marriage and your family, it's not optional. And in fact, you're very necessary to the success of your family. But if your ego is so big, if your I don't want to call them delusions of grandeur, but I think that I am because a lot of us feel like we're too important to do the details, right? We're too important to clean the bathroom. We're too important to clean up, to do the small things that you're called to do as a woman, but what you don't realize is you're completing a whole picture. Like, yes, we're undervalued. I get it. But you hear all the what do women bring to the table? I'm convinced that those are people who've just never seen a healthy marriage, who've never seen two people work together to accomplish something. Because I'm sorry, I bring a lot to the table. Just because I'm not personally bringing in a paycheck, I sustain the life that allows you to go and earn a paycheck. Go to work with them dirty, funky drawers on and see how well you do. See how far you get then. Go ahead and live off fast food and see what you get. See how you feel then. I'm not fine. I'm not gonna do anything. You understand what I'm saying? And then you just shut the whole thing down. Like, what are they called? Older men who, just like run all the women out of their lives. And then when they get to the point where they can't really take care of themselves anymore, oh, now you want to settle down and get married. There's a name for it, but I forgot what it is. But when you don't and I'm not talking about the fact, I don't care what those men did. I'm talking about the women in this situation. Like, you want the men in your life to end up like that, even when it comes to your sons. You can't change a grown woman, but even when it comes to your sons. Listen, a woman, Mary Lou Shalom and Shalom says, a woman, I can't teach my sons how to be men. I would never claim that. Like I have no idea, okay? But my role is to teach them about women, how to treat a woman, the things to expect from a woman, what a woman is, what does a woman do. They learn that from their mother. They also learn by seeing how I treat their father. Now I'm just talking about as a woman. They learn how what to expect by how they see me treat their father. Now, I could be an absentee mom, or I could be here and just be a crappy mom, right? Treating their dad bad, not cleaning up behind them, not paying them any attention. But then what kind of men am I raising? What kind of men am I letting out into the world? I'm not gonna pig shalom and shalom. That's what happened in the 80s when we try exactly. Yes. And now we see the condition of the black family. You're not meant to do it all. And see, here's the thing, like LGBTQ, right? Here's the thing, like you're not meant to do it all. And when one person attempts to do it all, nothing gets done well. I was listening to a video essay about the fall of MySpace, and they were talking about how with MySpace, they wouldn't really hire people to help. They were trying to do everything themselves with, a handful of people. And because of that, they were not able to handle anything efficiently and everything fell. And, a lot of people say, like, oh, we weren't meant to work and raise a family alone. We were meant to have help. No, you were meant to have a family to do that. The the whole point is the wife is supposed to be at home so that home can be taken care of. I don't understand how in these years of life we have not figured out that home keeping is a full-time job. Homekeeping is a full-time job. And I always say people look at the outside of the house and judge my husband. They look at the inside of the house and they judge me because that's my responsibility. But guess what? If the inside of the house wasn't kept, they're judging my husband ultimately also. And the first question, you can't get your wife together? You can't control your wife? It's a bad reflection on him when I don't do my part as the help. And I have no problem calling myself the help because that is what the Most High called me in the Bible, a help meet. So guess what makes me so happy? The best compliment my husband can give me. Don't get me wrong. I love when he tells me that I'm beautiful. Look, I'm trying to fix my necklace and I can't. I love when he tells me that I'm beautiful and all that good stuff. Yes, that just makes my heart swoon. But when he tells me that I've been a good help to him, that makes my day. Because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That is my job description, to be a good help. When I was coming up in church, everybody wanted to be an intercessor. Even though nobody wanted to pray, right? They don't want to pray, but they wanted to be an intercessor. They wanted to stand in the gap. Mainly for the pastor and his family, not for everybody else, but mainly for the pastor and his. See, look, I got something for you. Everybody wanted to be an intercessor and stand in the gap for the pastor and his family, of course, Um, but nobody wants to intercede and stand in the gap for. I'm looking for the right word. Nobody wants to intercede and stand in the gap for the widow and the orphan. or even if she's not a widow, just a single mom. Nobody wants to stand in the gap for her. Nobody wants to help the woman with 2, 3 kids that might need a ride. There's no line for that. But if you ask who wants to be a prayer warrior, everybody's in that line. And the fact of the matter is, and sidebar, stop letting everybody pray for you because some people are only praying for you to be in your business. I know that might sound crazy, but hear me, okay? Don't be letting everybody pray for you. Um there are people out there with gifts and they abuse them. So I'm gonna just leave it at that and I'm again. However, no nobody nobody wants to fill in the gap where there's a real need. Everybody wants to go to the popular line. Everybody wants to pray for the pastor in their first family, but what about sick old sister so and so? What about her? What about that mother that you see coming to church every week and she might be struggling and they might wear the same clothes every week? Where's your interceding and standing in the gap for her? See, the only reason that you're so dead set on interceding or standing in the gap or praying for certain people is because you feel like there's going to be a reward from it. Because you fall for that okey doke, like, oh, if they're rich, God must have made them rich. And if I pray for them, then God is going to make me rich like he made them. And so, yeah, there's a rush to do that. But even further than that, are you praying for your own husband that much? Do you pray for your own child? Are you that eager to stand in the gap for your own child? Do you know what your children are going through? Why are you so busy being up in everybody else's spiritual business? What about your family? What about the people in your home that are right in your face, hurting and needing you, needing your attention? They need you to intervene and stand in the gap for them. You want to be, this great advisor to your friends. What about the people that you made that need you? The family you created? I'm sorry your sister is going through what she's going through, but what about your husband and your child? You pray, oh, I want a family, I want a family, I want a family. And then when you get a family, you don't understand the responsibility that comes with a family. A family is not just to serve you, you are to serve your family. Nobody wants to talk about being a servant, but literally, that's what your life is about. I don't understand the problem with that. See, the person that made this spoon, they made this spoon and they made this spoon to serve a purpose. This spoon is supposed to stir liquids and pick up cereal. Nothing is made without a purpose. So, why do you think that you were created by a creator, but for some reason he decided that you don't have to have a purpose and you don't have to serve any purpose on this earth. You're just here. Honey, even the grass serves a purpose. The rain serves a purpose. The sun, everything serves a purpose. Why do you think that you don't have to? Y'all don't want to help at home. Y'all don't want to help in the ministry. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. You don't wanna do anything. You just and I I am baffled. It is baffling to me how your husband can be involved in ministry and you are not. Especially in a leadership position and you are not. And here's the thing, I am not talking about watching out for other women. That's not honey, other women is the least of your worries. Do you understand the kind of spiritual attack that your husband is under? Like, I don't think y'all understand that these men are really out here putting their lives on the line. My husband get up and leave this house, and I still be in the bed. But he's out here facing traffic, crazy people, all kind of stuff. And I remember I used to deal with it, okay? Out here dealing with all kind of stuff. But love vanity though, don't we? And that's just physically. You don't understand what these men are dealing with spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Again, because a lot of them aren't raised to feel safe expressing their feelings, right? Or they are not made to feel safe in their home. They feel like, oh, my wife's gonna judge me if I cry in front of her. She's gonna think less of me if I, tell her how I'm feeling about this. She's gonna think I'm not as strong if I admit that I'm having a moment of weakness. And y'all, that's not being a help. You are being a hindrance. Your husband, if there's nobody else in the world that your husband can come to, he should be able to come to you. He should be able to come to you. Single mothers, your sons need to be able to come to you without you making them feel like they're wrong for having feelings. They've taken toxic masculinity and just made it masculinity, period. But when a boy is raised to believe that he's not entitled to his feelings, what do you think he does? What do you think that becomes? All that ain't, you know how you feel when you are feeling emotional and you want to talk and you feel like you need to express yourself. You feel like you need to vent and you can't, so you're just angry and you want to let it out. Why should a child have to deal with that because you want to be ignorant? Why? And I'm not saying that as parents we can control everything. I'm not saying that at all. But are you at least creating a welcoming environment for conversation? Are can Do they feel safe even coming to you? I mean, a nigga shouldn't be deaf and doing all that. No. Sometimes, boo. Sometimes a man can cry a little bit. Dang. He like, no, not at all. When a child comes to you for anything, right? And hear me, okay? There are some days when I don't want to hear another word that starts with M. Not mom, not mommy, not maybe, not Mary, not Maybelline, not mayonnaise, not miracle, not mirror, not nothing that starts with an M. I don't want to hear it because I'm all mommed out. Okay. But because I want my children to always feel comfortable coming to me, even in those moments when I am mommed out, I still have to be kind and pleasant to them. Okay. I mean, and that mom could have tripped my last nerve, but I have to gather myself and remember this is a 5-year-old, this is a 7-year-old, this is a 17-year-old, this is a 19-year-old, this is a 21-year-old who still need me as a mother. So that means that even though my last nerve was just tripped, we got to hold that in because this child's life is more important than my feelings right now. And oh, it's not a big deal. Yes, it is a big deal because those small interactions are what set the ground for bigger ones to happen or not happen. If every time your child comes to you, you got an attitude, you got a problem, you short and you're impatient, when they really need something, they're not going to want to come to you because they're going to remember you're short, you're impatient, you're going to yell at them, and they're already feeling bad and confused. Especially with the teenagers. It's like it's yeah. and it's a different thing at each stage of their life, right? Because like when my 5 and 7-year-old, it's just a mom, can I have? Mom, can I have? Mom, can I do? Mom, 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 mom. That's it with them, right? But the teenagers, once they get past that, oh, I hate my mom phase, it's a different relationship. And now you want, let me speak for myself. I want to be there to guide them through life. Okay. And don't get me wrong, yes, you've been doing it their whole life, but now they're capable or almost capable or are making decisions that are going to affect them for the rest of their life, even before they're 18. We our 15-year-old, I tell him, listen, these decisions that you're making, they're going to affect the rest of your life. You're starting habits now. We have conversations about work in my house all the time. As business owners, we are talking to our kids all the time about working a job versus owning a business. But regardless, you need work ethic. You can't build work ethic by not working every day. I've had a job since I was 14, 15, and that helped build my work ethic. I got to be there at 9. I got to be there at 9. Then people say I got to wear this shirt. I got to wear this shirt. I got to mop this floor. I got to mop this floor. And so we're trying to avoid some of that by them not needing a job ever. But you still got to get up and work these businesses. You still got to talk to these customers. You still got to advertise. You still have to get up and display your work ethic. And it is our job as parents to teach them that. That's how you help your child, by training them up the right way. The greatest thing I can do for my kids is teach them the law and commandments and the faith in Yahushua. That is the greatest thing I can do for my kids. The second greatest thing I feel I can do for my kids is to make sure that they never have to fill out a job application in their life. I don't ever want someone telling my child that they can't go somewhere they want to go, or you can't take vacation because so and so already took a vacation. Bump so and so. That's how I'm helping my kids. A lot of y'all don't want to help y'all kids. Y'all too busy trying to be their friend instead of preparing them for life. Up purse, sis. You want to be their friend. You're too busy trying to relive your childhood through them to make sure that they have a well-built childhood or a well-built life. You're not doing your child any favors by keeping them from work. Okay? Listen, my first job was at Miss Winters, honey, slanging fried chicken. And then after that, I worked at Quick Trip, which was great. I loved that job. Okay, but I didn't wake up and just own a business. Even when me and my husband got married, it took years to build this up. So please, like it, and listen, even if you are leading your children into entrepreneurship, that's cool, but you still have to instill the work ethic in them, because who knows where life is going to take them. They may want to do something else. You know, some people don't work jobs just for money. Sometimes people work jobs for training to help them own a business in the future. And if that's a journey your child has to take, cool. You want them to be prepared for that, right? My daughters all decided to go to college. Cool. They're prepared for that. If my sons decide to go to college, that's fine. I'll have no problem with that, because at that time there'll be adults with their own thoughts. We have already instilled the word in them. But they need to be prepared to do that. Are you helping your children for real? It's more than just putting food on a plate and clothes on their back and making sure they have a roof over their head. And it's more than just making sure that they're dressed right for school and they look nice and people won't bully them. Can they read? Can they read? Like, how are they doing mentally, emotionally? Are you tapped into that? Do you really know what's going on in your kid's life? And so that's why I titled this, like, are you really ready to help? Are you really a help? You know, we focus so much in this generation on self-care and mental health, and everything is me, self, self, self. But what about those around you who you've made commitments and promises to be a helpmeet for? Everybody wants to have a ministry, but nobody wants to take care of their first ministry, which is their home. And you are responsible for you. Okay? You can only be responsible for what you put out, your actions, and what you do. Even when it comes to your husband, you can't control that. And you feeling like, oh, well, I'll just withhold my help, I'll withhold my sex, I'll withhold my affection. You having these absurd ideas is not helping anything at all. In fact, you're just hindering and making things stay stagnant. Some of us don't realize that to help sometimes means to lead by example. To help sometimes means showing a milder temperament than you are being shown. It means doing things for someone who you may not particularly be fond of right now. And ladies, wives, I'm talking to my wives, your help continues into the bedroom. It does. I know it does. And nobody like, oh, well, just because you're married doesn't mean you have to have sex. I don't know about y'all, but that was definitely like one of the top reasons that I got married, to have sex, like, and legally, and without having to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is definitely one of the reasons that I got married. So why would I now be in a marriage and act like my husband is wrong for expecting his sexual needs to be fulfilled? Yes, ladies, that is being a helpmeet as well. I'm not gonna say that's the main part, but that's definitely like up there. My husband might say it's number 1A. I don't know. Like, it's definitely up there. And you cannot neglect that part of your job description. I'm sorry. And it's not even about, oh, well, if you don't do it, somebody else gonna do it. We're not even going there. Why aren't you handling your business, ma'am? No, you can't have sex before marriage, but y'all should have discussed any proclivities. 1B. My husband said it's 1B. I wonder what 1A is. Hopefully it's prayer. Sure, 1A is prayer. But no, sex is 1B. Come on. Something very important here, and something that unfortunately we feel like, and see, here's the problem. All right. And I know I'm not supposed to say it. I know. But stop acting like y'all not doing it. You get a man all the sex he can handle until you get married. Okay, while y'all dating, you can't keep your mouth off him. Y'all know what I mean. Can't keep your hands off him. Can't keep your legs closed. Can't keep your clothes on. Every time this man turn around, you trying to jump on him. But as soon as y'all get married, well, maybe not as soon, but when that honeymoon phase is over, you looking at him like he got two heads. And listen, I know we tired. He tired too. And I'm not saying don't never take a day off besides them 4 to 7 days. I'm not saying you can't have any other days off, but your husband should be hearing yes a lot more than he hears no. Your head hurt that bad, boo boo. You might want to look into some teas or some herbs or something. Because here's what you don't understand, it is a need to them. It is a need to them. And to us, it's a need as well. Um, it may not be as frequent of a need, but it's a need as well. Like the purpose of sex is to grow your bond. So you need that just like he needs that. You're just all out of order. Nobody happy. You're not happy, he's not happy. You want a good icebreaker? Me and my husband have been at odds, but we, you know what I mean? We talk enough that we're conversating. And now I don't deny him. And guess what happens after? You know what? I was wrong. And then I'm like, you know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. And now we both see, sir. Stop it. 7 days off build in. But it's it's the cheese under your grits. Okay? Everybody loves grits, and sure, I could tolerate grits with just butter and salt and pepper, but the cheese, honey, if you put the cheese on there, I'm definitely gonna eat them. Okay? Stop denying yourself cheese. Have cheese. A lot of it. You'll be surprised at how your man's attitude toward you will change if you start giving him more cheese. I promise. It will. And the way of the world today, well, I'll just marry a man who doesn't need my help. I'll marry somebody who's already rich and he already got it, and I'm not working. I don't want to lift a finger. I don't understand. And I'm going to tell you why I don't understand. Why would you, if the purpose is to grow and become a better person, why would you try your hardest to put yourself in a situation that's not going to require any growth or betterment from you? Why would you set yourself up to be in a situation where you are dispensable and not serving a purpose? Sure, some women would be happy with being married and having some babies and not ever having to do anything and having a man just keep them around because it's cheaper to keep her. But I didn't want that. I don't think you guys want that either. I think if watch my content, you enjoy my content, I think that, like me, you want a full, purposeful life. I believe that you as well, um, you know, when that day comes many, many years from now, Lord willing, I believe that you want the Lord to look at you and say, well done. I don't think you want him looking at you saying, what have you done with my talent? What have you done with what I've given you? Y'all know the parables of the talents. One got 5, one got 10. It was 3 men. I don't remember. I think one got 5, one got 10. The one who got one just buried it. And I think the others multiplied theirs. And what kind of example are you setting for your children? What kind of example are you setting for your daughters? Don't listen. Yes, I get up here and I talk about love, marriage, and relationships and being a housewife and all that stuff. But I never want my girls to be under the impression, or I never want my girls, I don't want my girls to have to be dependent on a man. All right. And let me clarify that, because a lot of people would say, well, aren't you dependent on your husband? Aren't don't you need him? Yes, I very much need my husband. I do. And I am very much dependent on him, but we are interdependent. We're dependent on each other. Because my husband needs me for stuff too. There's stuff right now that my husband, this man, I don't know if he know how to work the vacuum right now. I know he didn't for a while. I don't know if he knows how to work the vacuum right now. Like, I'm not saying he can't go in the kitchen and cook a full meal, but I guarantee it's going to be a lot harder for him than it is for me. Yeah, my husband could do the laundry, but then how is he going to be out here working and doing the laundry and cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids? Building up, again, the kids, building up the bloodline, building up the legacy, building up the next generation. Taking care of the house, teaching them how to live. My husband's supposed to do all that and bring the money home? Come on now. No, we are interdependent. You have to teach your child or even yourselves how to be strong enough to be interdependent. Hear what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to be strong enough to stand up on your own, right? Stand up straight on your own. Cool, that's great. But it's another kind of strength to be able to bend into another person. That's something else. To be able to bend and intertwine and mold yourself with another person. That's another kind of strength. That's another kind of being. Yes, I get up here and teach that there are gender specific roles. Are you teaching your child to fulfill that role? Are you setting that example, mom? Even for your sons. Listen, y'all might feel like taking out the trash. Oh, I'm not going to bother my son with that. Please do and make it a habit, because I hate taking out the trash. I hate taking out the trash. Not saying that. So if I take the trash, if I take the bag out the trash can, then my husband will carry it outside. But I don't want to take the I don't want to take the bag out the trash can. Like, I just want him to go get it. You know what I'm saying? So train your sons to take out the trash. But no, seriously, like, and even if you can't, get them around some men who can. Somebody you trust, an uncle, a cousin, heck, even a neighbor, someone that you trust. And see, this is one of the things that make me hate that black church was built on such a bad foundation, because one thing we did have was community. We had community there. You went there, you congregated with people, you made friends, our parents made friends. The people that I grew up in church with, heck, I married one of them. Like, I still know these people. You know what I'm saying? I support their businesses. They support our businesses. So I do regret not having that, because then at least there would be men around to show that leadership, to show those skills to these future husbands and fathers. And ma'am, sis, cousin, listen, don't don't have you or your child around just any old body. Y'all pay attention to how these men treat other people. Don't be just impressed because he's nice to you. How does he treat his baby moms? How does he treat his ex? If there are children in the picture, and she still has to be around, how's that going? Because the way he treats her, now that they've broken up, is the same way he's going to treat you. And I'm not even so much talking about the relationship between the adults. I'm talking about maintaining the relationship so that he has a connection to his kids. And trust me, I'm not telling you anything that I didn't go through personally. Yes, it's hard. It is hard to see your husband have to be kind and have to handle someone else with kitty gloves. Because I want that for me. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand that that relationship has to maintain a level of decency in order for him to maintain that relationship with his kids. And that is what you want more than anything. Because let me tell you something, a man that'll walk around without any kind of connection to his kids is a man that I am scared of and I will run away from. Y'all got to start paying attention to these signs. If he's angry and every other woman is a bitch and a hoe, what do you think he's going to do to you when he gets angry with you? It's all, listen, let me tell y'all something. It be all fun and games until you get serious, pregnant, or married. And y'all don't take y'all time to get to know these creatures, or you do, then you observe this behavior and you feel like, oh, well, he would never do that to me. Or if he tried me like that, I would leave. Do you think that everyone that he's put this through before didn't have the same? And why do you think that you're so special? Predators prey on victims. And if you allow yourself to stay, you're signing up to be a victim. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of you all are doing. And then you want to come and ask for prayer and talk crap about your husband. But again, ma'am, sis cousin, he didn't lie to you. You observed the behavior and you still decided to sit with it. Don't put yourself in a situation. Don't put yourself in a position where now you got to decide, like, oh Lord, am I gonna struggle with this? Am I gonna get a divorce? Then what is that gonna mean for me spiritually? Like, help yourself. Help yourself. Love yourself enough to know this is not what I want to do with my life. This is not how I want my life to look. I don't have to deal with this. That's being a help to yourself. A lot of you all don't want to help yourselves because it hurts too much. It hurts too much to look in the mirror and to fully assess our issues, our flaws. And even more than that, it hurts to have someone else assessing your issues and your flaws. I had a conversation with a young lady and she was like, you know what? I need to stop running from judgment. She's like, I'm scared of judgment. I don't like people judging me. And I told her, no, honey, righteous, loving judgment needs to be embraced. And here's what I mean by righteous, loving judgment, okay? If you know your parents are supportive and they're there for you, if you know that you have good elders around you, some good older women, some good older men who are living right, who you can look at and see an example in. Again, we don't take advice from people whose life we don't want to emulate. We don't do that. No shade, but I'm not going to ask the janitor for advice on how to be a doctor. Okay? So listen, if that marriage is not one that, if you don't want your marriage to look like that, don't ask that lady for no advice. And if she offer it, just nod and smile. Let it go over your head. Don't listen. But you have to be willing, and I know that sounds funny, right? But you have to be willing to help yourself enough to face the truth. When I talk to my daughter, we go through this all the time. I had a talk with one child, and she's going through some drama at work because she likes to take vacation. And I keep telling like, girl, you got a job. You can't just go when you want to. Um, and so she's like, I'm tired of this job anyway. I think I'll just go get another one, blah, 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 blah. But it's a great job for someone her age. And I have to tell her, like, listen, I've been where you are. Okay. And I've come upon great opportunities. And then after a while, it just kind of starts getting mundane and stagnant. And I'm like, I want to do something else. And I'll drop everything. I'll drop school, I'll drop work, and I'll just go and wild out. But then when I come to my senses, I got to pick everything back up, and that's not cool. Nobody has that kind of time to waste. Time costs money. While you wilding out, that costs money. While you exploring and getting, that costs money. Hang in there, stay where you are. But you know what? I have to be honest enough with myself to admit that I've made mistakes before I can offer that advice to my child. And the reason why some of you all, not even you can't lead your children, you can't lead anyone, you can't lead other women, is because you're not willing to be honest with yourself. I am not about to sit up here and listen to someone that I know is BSing me and not being transparent. And I would hope that you all would not either. That is why I have a problem listening to a lot of these dating and relationship gurus, because you're full of crap. You're full of crap. I don't need a man, but every time you turn around, you're dating. So be honest with yourself. Listen, when my kids were little, when it was just me and my girls, and they were little, and they started asking questions, I had to be honest with them. Like, yes, your mother was out here being stupid, and I made a lot of mistakes. I wish I wouldn't have. And my girls have heard that lesson drilled in their head from as long as they can remember. And all praises to the Most High. They are all still pure in college or about to be in college, all still chaste. All praises to the Most High. I don't listen. Nobody can afford for you to lie to them anymore, much less yourself. You're hindering yourself and your relationships when you refuse to be honest. You won't even be honest with God, and He knows everything. It's like, when they say a woman never asks a question unless she knows the answer. God already knows you. He already know who He's asking to do what. He already knows. He already knows you're gonna give him a heart. He already knows. But instead of you being honest and being like, Lord, listen, I know this is what you want me to do with my life, but I'm having a really hard time with this. Like, I don't even like these people. Instead of you being honest and at least laying the foundation for you to get some kind of breakthrough, some kind of help, you'll continue to lie, ignore the fact. And how do y'all even pray and lie? What do you mean? How do you pray and lie? And I'm gonna say this, okay? Because for as much prayer as y'all say y'all be doing, for there not to be no fruit in your life would lead one like me to believe that you're lying. How are you spending that much time with the Lord and you still mean, evil, cranky, deceivious, manipulative? How? How? Where's your fruit of the spirit? You have no fruit of the spirit. None. The key to repentance. That's the hello. You got to admit you need repentance before you can go and get it. And here's the y'all don't realize like repentance is the first of many gifts. But if you're not good with me, I'm not giving you nothing. It's just like my kid go out here and break the rules. No, you can't ask me for nothing. No, I'm not giving you nothing. But y'all, for some reason, feel like God is some kind of magic genie, and y'all have fooled yourself with all this new age. I can manifest the life that I want crap. And see, here's the thing everyone wants to give you answers without repentance and without responsibility. That's why they tell you, oh, everything you have is within yourself. Why? Because, oh, now I only have to answer for me. And if something going wrong in my life, it's on me. Me. It's all about me. And that is a lie. You in and of yourself can control nothing. God forbid that the Most High decided that it's your time to go. You and of yourself are not bringing yourself back. Even if it's a fluke, even if CPR would bring you back, CPR yourself. Go ahead. CPR yourself. Go ahead. You know how many people would still be alive if that was possible? You know how many people would have saved their children if they could have? But yet and still, you, for some reason, seem to believe that without God, you can do anything. That's not, that is no road to success at all. You will continue to go in circles. Have y'all ever been in a bad relationship and you just kept going in circles? Like everything be going good, you get in an argument, you don't talk for a few days, here he come again, and y'all right back in the same cycle. And then you have a good 2 weeks, you get in an argument, y'all blow up, it gets really bad, and you don't talk. And then here he come, and then you back in the same cycle, never progressing to marriage, to family, to children, like a relationship is supposed to. Well, that's what happens when you try to do everything yourself. You're basically just going in one big old circle. Even as a even if we're just dealing physically, no man is an island in and of himself. You cannot do it all. This is why you need a help. You understand what I'm saying? God looked at Adam and said it wasn't good for him to be alone. You're supposed to have help, but you don't want to be the help. You don't even want to be a help to yourself. You won't help yourself. You won't serve yourself. You will not help yourself get to what God has for you in life. And if you won't help yourself, what good are you to anybody else? Because if you won't be honest and talk with God, when you having problems with your husband, you won't be honest and talk with God either. You're going to tell your lies and pick up the phone and call your lonely single mama or your lonely single auntie or your lonely single sister, somebody who you know is going to co-sign your crap. 5 and 10 years later, here you are single again, talking the same. All men ain't ish. And look at these black men. No, you refuse to help yourself. Y'all don't want to keep it real with yourself. You want everybody else to keep it real with you. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's why a lot of y'all keep falling into these same holes with these same destructive people, because you won't keep it real with yourself and deal with what is in you. You're a liar too. That's why you keep connecting with liars. You're deceivious as well. You're a cheater. You're a player. You're this, you're that. And so you keep running with these kinds of people. But until you change your mind, and the only person that can really change your mind is God. You may feel like you change your mind when you're going through things. You might feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. This hurts. Lord, please help me. But as soon as that hurt stops, guess what? You picking up the phone, calling that nigga again. You haven't changed your mind. You were just responding to your emotions. Lord, help me to change my mind. Help me to change the way I think. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not telling y'all nothing that I haven't personally had to do. There were months in my life where I would just come home and read the Bible and pray and just really talk to the Lord. I had gotten to a point in my life where I was just tired of the same old crap. And I mean, really tired. Like y'all say y'all tired, but then as soon as something ride by, something shiny ride by, there you go. As soon as that nigga slide in the DM, there you go. So you're not really tired. When you get tired, you will be willing to put everything to the side and you will come to the Lord bare naked and honest. Listen, God, I don't want to do this no more. When I came down here, I was like, Lord, I'm leaving everything that I have here behind. Please, I don't want to go through this again. I want to be established. I want to be stable. My next relationship, I want it to be my husband, and that's it. And when I came here, that is what happened. Not just magically like, oh, he was the only one that tried to talk to me. And ooh, look, no, other dudes tried to talk to me, but as soon as I figured out they wasn't on what I was on, okay, boop, bye. There's nothing else to discuss. I'm looking for marriage. You're not? Oh, I'm in church. You're not? There's nothing else to talk about. But that's why y'all keep getting caught up in these horrible relationships, because even after this nigga told you he don't know the Bible, not interested in the Bible, could give two hoots about God and his laws, you still kept talking to him thinking that somehow you was going to change him. But ma'am, sis, cousin, you can't even change yourself. You can't even help yourself. So what make you? When me and my husband were dating, he said something. We were talking. We were having like one of our talks. And I don't remember what he said, but I remember telling him, I would hate for the world to benefit from your gift and you don't. And it's like that's what y'all trying to do. You know, that's why y'all make up these corny Facebook statuses about I have healing energy and that's why I keep attracting so many broken people. No, girl, stop lying to yourself. You a fool and you keep picking the wrong person. That's what it is. Like, stop trying to act like you so super deep and super holy and you just walking around with all this spiritual power, but you can't fast for even 24 hours. You ain't got no power, Cletus. You ain't got nothing. You sit around just as dumb and forlorn as the people that you feel that you have the right to look down on. No. You're running around in the same muck and mire that you claim that your standards are too high. You'll sit here and talk crap on social media about how this nigga better have a car, but as soon as you in that live, you in your Honda on your way to go pick him up and drop him. No, you gonna pick him up, then he gonna drop you off at home so he can take his car, your car, and do whatever it is he want to do. You don't care enough to help yourself. These relationship gurus getting on social media, you don't care enough to help yourself. Get yourself together. Get a stable relationship. And listen, question, what is successfully dating? What is successful dating if it's not ending in marriage? If the dating is not ending in marriage, then what the hell are you even what are you doing? And if you're not dating for marriage, then you're just dating for what are you dating for? In order to fornicate? Hello? Is that what you're dating for? Be honest. Stop calling it dating and say, I just want to be a hoe out here. I'm for the streets. Say that. If you say that, you'll be quicker to get help dealing with it. Listen here. I'm not telling you not to go to God with it. No, that's who I'm telling you to tell. I'm not telling you to tell. You ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to tell your mama. You ain't got to tell your bestie. You don't have to tell nobody but God. God, listen, I got a problem. I like these men out here. I can't stay away from them. Lord, I have a problem. I enjoy sex and I know I'm not supposed to yet. God, I have an issue. Yes, I want to be in a relationship, but ooh, help me get me together first. But y'all won't do that. You feel like as long as I just, present a facade and wear my head wrap at Passover and observe my Shabbat, then everything else in my life doesn't matter. And that's that same kind of crap that had us up in church able to jump, shout, and holler and then go home and have a dysfunctional life. Don't think that just because now you keep the law that means that you can neglect everything else. No, the law was put in place to help you get all that in order. I keep the law. Do you apply the law though? Do you apply it? Does it guide your life? Does it help you make your decisions? I mean, what are you searching for? What do you if you don't love yourself enough to help yourself? What good are you to anyone else? My dad, my biological dad, let me tell y'all something. You talking about Papa was a Rolling Stone, honey? This man got story for days, okay? But he was with this one girl, and she claimed that she loved him more than anything else. Now they met in Vegas, right? They got together. He ran off with a married woman to Michigan, left her in Vegas. That married woman's husband came and got her, and the girl that he left in Vegas came out to Michigan. Okay, he's left this girl for other women at least 3 or 4 times. The last time he did it, I guess she snapped or whatever, and she wound up slicing her hand open to prove to him that, she loved him so much that she was willing to bleed for him. And my dad said at that moment, he was totally convinced that she was crazy. Because listen, if you don't love yourself enough to keep yourself intact, baby, what you gonna do to me? If you're that disappointed in life, what are you gonna do to me? Okay? We're not doing that. Hold on, wrong button. Love yourself first before you go try to be help yourself first before you go try to be a helpmeet to anyone else. For my single moms, help yourself, help your children. Okay. Get yourself ready to be a helpmeet. But for everyone, I encourage y'all, please pray, get real with the Most High, get in your word, ask Him to reveal it to you, find a ministry that you can follow along with, a Bible study that you can, go to. There are plenty on YouTube. So please, I'm praying that for y'all. Auntie Angelina said, "Hey, cutie, say shalom, y'all." Auntie. You sleeping, ain't you? Paxton is lit. Y'all stand up so they can see you. Let me tell y'all about Paxton.
Always
you can sit back down. Listen, Paxton is the most like me because when I'm ready to go to sleep, I'm ready to go to sleep, honey. He do not care. My baby is tired. He usually be in the bed by now, but they wanted to come down and say hi to everybody. Oh, say hey to Uncle Seven. Hey, Uncle Seven. He on the IG over here. Hey,
Uncle Seven.
So like, share, subscribe, please. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I have not posted any new content in a minute because a sister been working, y'all. Huh?
We got 6 likes.
So that means 6 people are watching right now. That's what that means. So you can follow me at Miss Mono's World, IG, Instagram, TikTok. Yes, I'm on YouTube. If you're not on that YouTube, just head over and subscribe. I do post content there as well. YouTube lets you put up shorts. They're like a minute each. So I have some of those up there. My broadcasts are there. If you like to see anything older, head over to my husband's YouTube at Monologue McGad. Also, if y'all have not checked out, Okay, hold on. If y'all have not checked out the video, We All Gonna Smile, go ahead and check that out. I believe it's up on Rapzilla right now. So go ahead and check that video out, as well as other songs from my hubby and his old podcast episodes. But don't forget, I'm on there a little bit too. We got a song. I'm in a couple of videos. Me and the boys are in the We Gonna Smile video, right? Shout out to Scoop. He was in the video with us. We had such a good time doing that. Okay, what did you want to say?
I wanted to tell you something about me.
What? Tell them about you.
People, I'm gonna tell you something about me.
Go ahead, talking to the mic. Tell them.
Here's the first thing I'm gonna tell you about me. I don't play that much.
You don't what?
I don't play that much.
You don't play that much. You play a lot.
I don't play that much. I don't play all the time.
You don't play all the time?
No.
Why not? No, you want me to do the comments? Okay, he wants me to highlight the comments. Galatians 2:16 talks about how we're not justified a lot, but by yes, exactly. Thank you so much. They said we have a beautiful family. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Our old podcast.
Thank
I miss my husband doing podcasts with me. We had so much fun. That's my buddy, but hopefully he'll get some time. He's just been working really hard, preparing for F3 as well. If y'all are not ready, hold on. If y'all aren't ready for F3, head over to F3 French Up Family Fest on Instagram, Facebook. Are you gonna hold up the flyer for the folks? Instagram, Facebook. F3 Fringe Up Family Fest, www.3mgmusic.com. You can get tickets there. You can sign up to be a vendor there. Also, we are looking for, but if you would like to sponsor a family, you can do that there. There is a tab there that says become a sponsor. When you sponsor a family by buying tickets, we will distribute those tickets to our platforms. Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass being one of them. And we will give those tickets out so people can come and enjoy the festivities. I hope to see y'all there. King Connect. I hope to meet you there too. My husband and I, we will definitely be out there in full force. We'll have t-shirts on. I'm gonna try to get like at Miss Mono's World on the back of my t-shirt. Yeah. So y'all will know it's me. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a great time. There are gonna be some great performances. We're gonna have awesome vendors. Y'all know I'm so excited about the food trucks. But don't worry, listen, we want to make this accessible to everyone. Okay, so even if you're like the food trucks, we're gonna have hot dogs and hamburgers, $1, $2. There'll be free water because, as y'all know, in ATL the sun be sunning. Okay, so there'll be free water, but we'll have plenty of food for you. There'll be a kid zone where your kids can have unlimited access to our bouncies. So yes, please, I hope to see you guys all at F3. Don't forget, again, follow me at Miss Mono's World. Like, share, subscribe our content. Turn on your notifications so you know when I go live. Well, hopefully we'll be going live again soon. Huh? Okay, well, I'm getting ready to go put these little kids to bed. What are you doing? They are over here plotting something. All right, y'all. Well, we got to get ready to go. The watch. Oh, they caught their daddy's
One time.
All right, we're getting ready to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. I hope something that I said will help you on today or tomorrow. Please, please, please. If you find it in your heart, make a clip of something that you like that I said, and please tag me in it. I will be definitely sharing. Please, y'all. I need help making clips. Yes, the Most High will. I will see you all at F3. I hope to see y'all there. I hope you come. Even if you volunteer, we need volunteers. So if you want to come and be a part of the effort, that would be awesome. Okay, y'all say good night.
Good night. Shalom.
Shalom and shalom. We love you.
Head over to F3. Head over to
F3 Friendship Family Fest. We love you. Shalom.
Used to be told that I see ya paid